good evening everyone. Welcome to PIB 247. My name is Archana and I'm your mentor for PIB 247. First of all, please clarify once. Am I clearly audible to all of you? Hello Yoginder. Yes everyone, please clarify me once. Am I clearly audible? Good evening Ishwari. Good evening Soumya, Siddhant. Good evening everyone. Okay, thank you for confirming. So first of all, again, a very good news for all of you, as we have discussed in the previous class, that at anujjindal.in you will get free resources for practice. Like earlier भी resources provide किए जाते थे, but current के लिए ज़्यादा किए जाते थे, right? But the new feature here is that you can go to these free practice questions at anujjindal.in as a website, and in free practice question, when you'll click this, you'll get page like this, okay, where you can practice free questions for static part also. Currently we have finance questions, so as you will revise, as long as you revise the data, static data, it will be more helpful in your preparation, right? तो जो भी प्रिपेयर कर रहे हो आप स्टैटिक पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से, तो यहाँ से चैप्टर वाइज अगर आप टेस्ट दे रहे हो तो आपको बहुत बेनिफिशियल रहेगा, राइट? सो यू कैन विजिट फॉर दिस फ्री प्रैक्टिस क्वेश्चन. एंड नेक्स्ट थिंग, let's begin the session now for PIB 247. Yes, Swastik, I will take your doubt at the end of the session, right? First, let's continue with the class. So first news is about that we are covering the news from 17th to 19th January 2025, and आज की जो भी news है, जो भी topics है, वो बहुत ही important रहने वाले हैं for your examination point of view. You cannot afford to miss these topics, right? Miss these topics exactly, right? So first news is about the World Bank Global Economic Prospects Report, GEP report. Okay, so the World Bank has released January 2025 edition of the World Bank's Global Economic Prospects Report. So GEP report basically tells us about the trends going on in the global economy, like what are the growth rates, what are the sectors doing good, which sectors are doing good, right? So it is a flagship publication of the World Bank Group that examines the trend and projections in the global economy. इस पर्टिकुलर रिपोर्ट में आपको देखने को मिलता है कि कौन सी इकोनॉमी है जो बहुत अच्छा कर रही है, विच सेक्टर इज डूइंग गुड, कौन सी इकोनॉमी फास्टेस्ट ग्रोइंग इकोनॉमी है. सो इट प्लेसेस स्पेशल एम्फेसिस ऑन इमर्जिंग मार्केट्स एंड डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज. ओके, तो इमर्जिंग मार्केट एंड डेवलपिंग इकोनॉमीज जो है इनके ऊपर यहाँ पे स्पेशल फोकस है. द स्पेशल फोकस इज ऑन EMDs, offering insight into their growth trajectories and challenges, right? So basically it is published twice a year, first in January and second edition is in June. The January edition basically focus on the detailed analysis of the economies and policy issues, and in June edition you will get shorter, focused and analytical pieces. Okay, so basically a just information, a brief information about the economies, and detailed information is in January edition. So this report is very important. So GEP 2024 report, it marks a significant milestone by offering the first comprehensive review on developing economies. So this is important. This is the first comprehensive review of developing economies in this particular report. Okay, so they are basically focusing on the developing economies since the beginning of 21st century. Right, with 2025 signaling the end of its first quarter, the report assesses progress made by these economies since 2000. तो बेसिकली जो हमारी 2000 से इकोनॉमीज है, जो डेवलपिंग इकोनॉमीज है, उनका ये पहला कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव रिव्यू है, और यहाँ पे फोकस किया जाएगा कि कैसे ये इकोनॉमीज ने डेवलप किया है और क्या ग्रोथ प्रोस्पेक्ट्स रहेंगे इनके इन नेक्स्ट 25 ईयर्स, राइट? नेक्स्ट, ग्लोबल फाइंडिंग्स की अगर बात करें तो ग्लोबल इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ इज प्रोजेक्टेड एट 2.7% for 25-26. It is steady. If we talk about that particular term, it is a steady growth rate at 2.7%. This projection is based on the gradual decline in inflation and interest rates. So why this projection? Because there is a gradual decline in inflation. Okay, inflation is rising but not at that pace, not at a fastest pace. Okay, and interest rate is also declining. If we compare this growth rate with the COVID-19 before COVID-19, then it is less than 3.1%. Okay, तो जो भी है 3.1% से लेस है रिकॉर्डेड इन द डेकेड बिफोर कोविड-19 पेंडेमिक. तो कोविड-19 पेंडेमिक से पहले क्या ये रेट था 3.1% से, और अभी ये इससे भी कम है. रिस्क की अगर बात करें, व्हाट आर द रिस्क इन्वॉल्व्ड हियर? सो बेसिकली ऑल heightened policy uncertainties. Basically when we talk about the global aspects, there is always a spillover effect, right? Whatever US federal is doing in US, okay, whatever policy they are taking in consideration, okay, whatever policies are taking in consideration by the RBI, ठीक है, RBI जो भी policies consider कर रहा है, interest rate consider कर रहा है, US फेडरल जो इंटरेस्ट रेट कंसिडर कर रहा है, उनका एक स्पिल ओवर इफेक्ट बाकी इकोनॉमीज में भी देखने को मिलता है. So whatever policies are going on in the other economies, adverse trade policy shift, if there is any policy shift, then geopolitical tensions, persistent inflation and climate related natural disasters. All these topics we have discussed in the earlier classes also, right? Next is about the EMDs. They have undergone significant transformation since 2000, now contributing about 45% of global GDP. So basically emerging market and developing economies are currently contributing 45% of global GDP compared to 25% at the start of the century. Okay, तो जो 21st century के start में था, at that time the global GDP was 25% if we talk about the EMDs, and currently it is 45%. If we talk particularly about India, China and Brazil, these three are the largest EMDs and they collectively have 60% approximately annual global growth since the start of the century. Okay, so basically they are concentrating more as a percentage if we talk about the annual growth rate. Now in South Asia region, estimated to grow at 6.2% in 25-26 compared to 6% growth in 2024, right? And this projection is mainly because of the robust growth in India. So India is basically considered as the fastest growing economy in South Asian region. And next we have India related findings in January 25. Okay. Yes. Whatever doubt you have, I will take at the end of the session, right? India's economy is expected to grow at 6.7%, very important number, annually during 2000 financial year 26 and 27. Okay, 6.7% is the growth rate of India, and it will remain the fastest growing large economy for 26 also and 27 also. Why? Because service sector is doing good, manufacturing sector is also doing good because of the excellent logistic improvement in logistics because of the PM Gati Shakti also, and basically there is more ease of doing business because of GST. Okay, GST ने क्या है, टैक्स प्रोसीजर्स बहुत ही सिंप्लीफाई कर दिए हैं, जिसकी वजह से जो बिजनेस करना है, जो भी रिलेटेड एस्पेक्ट्स हैं, वो बहुत ईजी हो गए. दैट्स व्हाई मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इज ऑल्सो ऑन द पेस ऑफ ग्रोथ, एंड करंटली इंडिया सर्विस सेक्टर इज एक्सपेक्टेड टू रिमेन रोबस्ट. मैन्युफैक्चरिंग विल ऑल्सो स्ट्रेंथन विद द अपकमिंग टाइम, राइट? प्राइवेट कंजम्पशन की अगर बात करें, सो इन इंडिया इट इज लाइकली टू गेन मोमेंटम driven by stronger labor market. So in India, the labor market is strong because of which the private consumption is gaining momentum. It is also increasing. India's investment growth is expected to remain steady, supported by rising private investment, improved corporate balance sheet, and favorable financing condition. So our corporates are doing well, their balance sheets are good. That's why the private investments are increasing, due to which there is increase in the investment of India, right? So if everything is clear and you can retain the data, can you answer this particular question? Question number 1, which of the following statement are incorrect? Okay, focus on the word incorrect has been asked about the recently released January 2025 edition of the Global Economic Prospects Report. First is, it is released by IMF. Second, according to it, global economic growth is projected at 2.7%. EMDs now contribute 55% of global GDP, and India's economy is expected to grow at 8.7% annually during financial year 26-27. What is the correct answer? Yes, jaldi answer करेंगे so that we can move on to the next question. So I am getting B as answer. Very good, Ishwari, Rose, Prerna, and artistic Karan. Everybody, yes, answer is right. It is B, 1, 3, and 4. Why 1? Because it is released by the World Bank. Okay. And 3 statement is also incorrect because it is basically forming the 45% and not 55%. And last statement is wrong because it is 6.7% and not 8.7%, right? Next news, National Broadband Mission NBM 2.0. Now basically National Broadband Mission is basically to improve the internet connectivity, right? Broadband connectivity को improve करने के लिए this mission was introduced and Ministry of Communication has launched NBM 2.0 by unveiling its vision document. Basically why it was introduced to propel India into a new era of digital transformation. So it is basically to remove the digital divide gap in Indian economy. Now let's read about NBM 2.0 first. It is basically to propel India into a new era of digital transformation to increase the broadband connectivity, especially focused in rural areas. Okay. It is basically more focused in rural areas and it envisions India as a global knowledge society by providing high-speed broadband and meaningful connectivity. See, why high-speed broadband? It is not enough to get a broadband service at your home. It is useful only when you get that speed for which you can download, you can upload your documents, you can upload your data, right? Only then it is beneficial. So what are the key benefits of NBM 2.0? Very, very important. First, extending operational optical fiber cable. Now, what is OFC? Optical fiber cable basically transfer data using light. Okay, so connectivity here basically improved to 2.7 lakh villages by 2030. ठीक है, ऐसा इनका क्या है कि एक्सपैंड करेंगे हम ऑप्टिकल फाइबर कनेक्टिविटी को कितने विलेजेस के लिए 2.7 लाख विलेजेस के लिए बाय 2030 with 95% uptime from 50,000 as of now. So currently we have this figure as 50,000 and our aim is to go to 2.7 lakh by 2030. Next is to provide the broadband connectivity to 90% of anchor institutions. देखो क्या होता है आपकी जो स्कूल्स हैं, जो सर्विस सेंटर्स हैं, जो गवर्नमेंट के सर्विस सेंटर्स हैं जहाँ पे सारी फैसिलिटीज होती है. मान लो आपको आधार कार्ड बनवाने जाना है, ठीक है, you want to make your आधार कार्ड and you will go to some आधार center. Now, if there is no connectivity of internet or if there is slow connectivity of internet, it will create problem for you. It would be more time consuming. You cannot create your Aadhaar card very efficiently, right? So basically यहाँ पे इन institutions को, इन anchor institutions को भी include किया है कि यहाँ पे हमें 90% reach लेनी है ताकि जो भी government facilities है वो बहुत अच्छे से provide की जा सके, ठीक है, by 2030. Next is improve fixed broadband download speed. What is now download speed? Basically कि कितनी तेजी से आप जो अपने जो वीडियोस हैं वो डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं. सो फिक्स ब्रॉडबैंड डाउनलोड स्पीड नेशनल एवरेज कितना है अभी? बेसिकली 63.55 एंड आवर टारगेट एज ऑफ नवंबर 2024. और हमारा टारगेट क्या है? व्हाट इज आवर टारगेट? टू रीच मिनिमम 100 Mbps by 2030. दिस इज आवर टारगेट. एंड नेक्स्ट, टू अचीव 100% मैपिंग ऑफ फाइबर नेटवर्क owned by government PSUs by 2026 on PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan. Now, very important point. Now, why PM Gati Shakti is so useful here? See, what is the purpose of PM Gati Shakti? That it will basically coordinate various infrastructure activities. Now, suppose कि that near your house, आपके घर के पास क्या हो रहा है कि कुछ digging हो रही है, ठीक है, जिसकी वजह से जो आपके यहाँ पे optical fiber cables हैं उनको नुकसान हो जाता है. They get damaged and because of which you will face प्रॉब्लम इन योर इंटरनेट कनेक्टिविटी, ठीक है. तो पीएम गति शक्ति क्या करेगी कि जैसे जैसे रोड्स बनते जाएंगे वैसे वैसे जो ऑप्टिकल फाइबर केबल्स हैं उनको पहले से ही इंस्टॉल करते हुए चलेगी सो डैट कि दोबारा उन्हें डिग ना करना पड़े और जो ऑलरेडी डिग ऑप्टिकल फाइबर केबल्स हैं उनको नुकसान ना हो. ओके, दैट्स वाई पीएम गति शक्ति इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट हियर एंड दैट्स वाई दिस मैपिंग इज रिक्वायर्ड कि कहाँ कहाँ ऑप्टिकल फाइबर है वहाँ पे हमें कैसे डिग करना है फॉर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलपमेंट. Next is for ease of doing business to reduce the right of way application, average disposal time from 60 days now to 30 days by 2030. In 2019 it was 449 days. Now what is right of way application? देखो जो telecom companies होती है, telecom companies take permission to install towers, right? So earlier this permission was basically granted in 449 days in 2019. Currently this time is 60 days and our aim is to go to 30 days by 2030. Okay. Increase the number of rural internet subscriber per 100 population from 45 to 60. So basically if we talk about per 100 population, there should be rural internet subscriber. We need to reach 60 by 2030. Okay, means out of 100, 60 people should subscribe for the internet by 2030, which is currently at 45. Achieve the target of powering 30% mobile towers with sustainable energy. So whatever mobile towers are running in the economy, our aim is to that 30% of these towers should be from sustainable energy like solar. Okay. Work on enhancing the usage of call before you dig mobile app. Now this mobile app is basically for that if you want to dig, if that municipality or any other contractor want to dig at some particular place, then he can call before they dig, because so that the optical fiber cable don't get damaged. Okay, damage नहीं होना चाहिए उनका. And next is to facilitate rollout of 5G network. So basically 5G network को strong करने के लिए और जो 6G network है उसके लिए जो future ready infrastructure create करना है. Next is to work with all stakeholders for common or shareable telecom ducts, utility corridors to improve the maintenance and cost efficiency of telecom networks and other utilities. So basically to share the infrastructure. For example, if you have this particular tower in your local area, then this tower can be shared by multiple telecom companies so that there is sharing and there is faster speed of the internet, right? Because they are sharing the infrastructure. Next is leveraging power sector assets such as optical ground wire for enhanced broadband connectivity. So to use OPGW for enhanced connectivity and for good speed to improve the broadband network reliability, survivability and resiliency, right? During the disaster, wars and other emergencies in far-flung, remote and hilly regions in the country. Clear? Next is, let's discuss some background about NBM 1.0. It was launched as the part of the National Digital Communication Policy 2018. Okay. Now, what was the vision of NBM 1.0? Basically to provide the internet access, okay, digital communication infrastructure, bridge the digital divide. So basically to minimize this digital divide gap, this was the vision of NBM 1.0. And lastly, to improve the access to education, healthcare, e-governance services, fostering economic opportunities and enhancing social inclusion. So the focus was also on how to improve the education sector, health sector and other economic opportunities. Clear? I hope everything is clear. Next, if everything is clear, can you answer this question? The question number 2. Which of the following statement about National Broadband Mission 2.0 is or are correct? First is the mission aims to extend operational optical fiber cable connectivity to 2.7 lakh villages by 2030, targeting 95%. Then one of its objective is to improve the fixed broadband download speed from national average 63.55 in November 2024 to at least 100 Mbps by 2030. Mission includes mapping 100% of fiber network owned by government PSUs on PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan platform by 2030, and then right of way. We are targeting to reduce the time from 60 to 15. And lastly, the mission emphasized powering 50% of mobile towers with sustainable energy. What is the answer for question number 2? Very good. I got the answer of Ishwari first. Abhishek, Karan, Rose, everybody, yes. Very good. Answer is option number C, 1, 2 and 3. Now why not 4 and 5? Because we are aiming to reduce this right of way from 60 days to 30 days and not 15 days. And in fifth statement, the mission emphasizes powering 30% of mobile tower with sustainable energy and not 50%. Clear? Next, new Sanchar Sathi mobile app. Again, very important news for examination. Ministry of Communication has launched first Sanchar Sathi mobile app. Okay, So this app was also launched earlier, and intra-circle roaming at DBN funded 4G mobile sites. Now basically this Sanchar Sathi mobile app is basically for, देखो कभी आप रास्ते पे जा रहे हो, okay, you are just going to the market and somebody stole your phone, okay, एक बाइक पे कोई आया और आपका फोन छीन लिया. What you will do in that case? अगर आपके पास कोई और प्रोविजन नहीं है तो in that case संचार साथी will help you. They help in कि अगर in case कि आपका फोन कभी चोरी हो जाए, your phone get stolen by any thief, or if there is any fake device you are using, it helps to identify that also. So objective here is to ensure that every individual has access to vital services related to phone, okay, just with a few taps on this smartphone. Now after installing this app, basically it is a user friendly platform designed to fortify telecom security, okay, it is a security related to your phones. It provides users with critical tools to secure their telecom resources and combat telecom frauds. How? Let's discuss. First is they have a key feature, Chakshu. Now what is Chakshu? It is basically reporting suspected fraud communication. If you have any doubt on any suspected call, you can report that. Okay, user can report suspected calls, SMS using this app. First thing. Second thing, no mobile connection in your name. For example, somebody is using your Aadhaar card or any other document and they are basically forging your identity and using some SIM, okay, in your name. You can identify that कि आपके नाम पे कितने connections चल रहे हैं. Citizens can identify and manage all mobile connections issued in their name, okay, ensuring कि कोई unauthorized usage तो नहीं है which can be used for criminal activities. Third thing is blocking your lost stolen mobile handset. अगर आपका कोई फोन चुरा के ले जा रहा है, somebody stealing your phone, then you can basically block your device and it can be traced and recovered also. Next is no mobile handset genuineness. The app offers an easy way to verify authenticity of mobile handset. So in maybe you have heard that iPhones are fake, okay, some fake iPhones are selling on Amazon, etc. Using this mobile app, you can verify whether the device you are using is fake or it is original, right? So it helps in that also. Now about Sanchar Sathi mobile app, it was basically launched in 2023. And if we talk about what it has achieved till now, so basically it resulted in disconnection of 2.75 crore fraudulent mobile connections, securing 25 lakh lost or stolen devices, 12.38 lakh WhatsApp accounts linked to cyber crimes are basically disengaged. Okay, so these WhatsApp accounts were basically used for criminal activities. Now they are being disengaged, and 11.6 lakh mule bank accounts have been frozen. Now what are mule bank accounts? I think most of you must have heard this term and even familiar with also, but just for your knowledge, mule bank accounts are basically used for fraudulent activities. Okay, for example, एक person है, that is Rahul, and Rahul को ये एक person है बोलते हैं कि आप मुझे अपना account use करने दो, I have a company and let me use your account to do some transactions, okay, and I will give you some commission over that. So Rahul was very innocent and he allowed this person to use his account, and finally this person did all the transaction, all the criminal transaction and huge amount transaction from this Rahul account, and then he withdrawed money and went away somewhere else. Now if there is any investigation related to that particular amount, then Rahul will face the consequences. So here the account of Rahul will be called as mule account. Okay. Now next is intra-circle roaming at DBN funded 4G mobile sites. Now what is this? Basically, first it will allow the multiple telecom services providers to provide services from same tower. Okay. Earlier what used to happen that there were many towers. Okay, and different mobile companies have different towers, but now they can use the same tower in a particular colony or in a particular area. They can use same tower, offering seamless experience for subscribers. And second, it promises 4G connectivity over 35,400 rural and remote villages served by approximately 27,000 towers. Okay, so basically they will provide 4G connectivity for 35,400 rural and remote villages with 27,000 towers. Okay. So if everything is clear, very easy question. Which mobile app has been launched recently by Ministry of Communication with an aim to ensure that every individual has access to vital services with just a few taps with their smartphones. Yes, what is the answer of question number 3? Very good. It is Sanchar Sathi. I got the answer of Ahana Raj as the first. Sanchar Sathi mobile app. Okay. Moving on to the next scheme, and very important scheme. In January first week also it was there in news, and now again it is in news. Okay, Swamitva scheme. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi distributed over 65 lakh property cards under Swamitva scheme to property owners in over 50,000 villages in more than 230 districts across 10 states and 2 UTs. तो क्या है 10 states कौन कौन से हैं? पहली बात तो डिस्कस करते हैं कि स्वामित्व है क्या. बेसिकली इट प्रोवाइड्स द राइट ऑफ रिकॉर्ड्स. ठीक है, कि जो भी लैंड्स हैं उनके रिकॉर्ड्स जो है उसके लिए एक राइट प्रोवाइड करती है सिटीजन्स को, so that they can get access to financial credit and it can be beneficial in many ways, right? So in these 10 states, Chhattisgarh, Gujarat, Himachal Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Mizoram, Odisha, Punjab, Rajasthan, यूपी, इन स्टेट्स में लॉन्च बेसिकली प्रोवाइड किया है. 2 यूनियन टेरिटरीज, जम्मू एंड कश्मीर एंड लद्दाख. ओके, सो नाउ अबाउट लेट्स फर्स्ट डिस्कस अबाउट स्वामित्व स्कीम. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल द फुल फॉर्म, सर्वे ऑफ विलेजेस एंड मैपिंग विद द इम्प्रोवाइज्ड टेक्नोलॉजी इन विलेज एरिया. सो बेसिकली they will use the technology like drones to survey a particular area and they will provide the right of records to the citizens with that particular area. Now what it will create? It will create accurate land records. तो जो भी actually जो person है जिसके नाम पे वो land होना चाहिए उसी को accurately वो land records के right मिलेंगे, and it is very helpful for rural planning also. And second thing, to bring financial stability. देखो अगर एक किसी rural village में कोई land है and it is nameless, basically किसी के नाम पे नहीं है, this land cannot be used to get any financial credit. Okay, so if any basically एक proper person को अगर इसका right मिल जाए who is basically desirable, ठीक है, जिसके पास इसकी ownership के actual rights होने चाहिए, that person can go to formal credit. ठीक है, they can use this land to get the formal credit also, so it will help in financial inclusion also. ठीक है, जो ऐसे लैंड है जो पहले किसी के नाम पे नहीं थे, अब उन्हें यूज किया जा सकता है टू गेट द क्रेडिट. नेक्स्ट, डिटर्मिनेशन ऑफ प्रॉपर्टी टैक्स. प्रॉपर्टी टैक्स को डिटरमाइन करने के लिए ये हेल्प करेगा कि कितना टैक्स बनता है किस प्रॉपर्टी पे. नेक्स्ट, इट विल हेल्प और यू कैन से इट विल सपोर्ट इन प्रिपरेशन ऑफ बेटर क्वालिटी ग्राम पंचायत डेवलपमेंट प्लान बाय मेकिंग यूज ऑफ GIS मैप्स. सो ज्योग्राफिक मैप्स, जो आपके ज्योग्राफिक मैप्स हैं उनको यूज करके इट विल हेल्प इन बेटर प्लानिंग ऑफ ग्राम पंचायत. ठीक है, ग्राम पंचायत डेवलपमेंट प्लान में बहुत ज़्यादा हेल्प करेगा. नाउ दीज GIS मैप नॉट जस्ट टेल यू अबाउट द एरिया, इट ऑल्सो टेल्स अबाउट व्हाट वेदर इज देयर, रोड्स कैसे हैं, पॉपुलेशन कैसी है, तो डेमोग्राफिक भी यूज करता है ये डेटा. एंड लास्टली, टू रिड्यूस द प्रॉपर्टी रिलेटेड डिस्प्यूट एंड लीगल केसेस. तो जो भी बेनामी जो लैंड्स हैं उनको प्रॉपर नेम दिया जाता है जिसकी वजह से फॉर्मल क्रेडिट मिलता है, प्रॉपर्टी टैक्स डिटरमिन करने में हेल्प होती है, जो रूरल एरियाज की डेवलपमेंट करने में हेल्प होती है. राइट नाउ लॉन्च ईयर वाज 2020 ऑफ स्वामित्व स्कीम एंड इट वाज लॉन्च्ड बेसिकली ऑन नेशनल पंचायती राज डे 24th April. राइट, if we talk about the pilot phase of the scheme, that was from 2020 to 21, it was basically conducted with an outlay of 79.65 crore in 9 states, and these are the 9 states. Okay, it was launched with a vision to enhance the economic progress of rural India by providing record of rights. तो जो भी rights हैं records के वो उन्हें देते हैं, and that is स्वामित्व property cards. जो ये rights कहाँ से मिल रहे हैं? इन property cards से जो अभी जो हमारे प्राइम मिनिस्टर उन्होंने डिस्ट्रीब्यूट किए हैं. ठीक है, तो बेसिकली these are the proof कि ये जो land है पर्टिकुलर पर्सन को बेसिकली बिलोंग करता है. Now next is what type of scheme it is. It is a central sector scheme. It means that it is fully funded by the central government. Nodal ministries, Ministry of Panchayati Raj. These 3 points are very, very important. Okay, and we are covering it here. Coverage, if you talk about the coverage, what villages are covered? All villages are covered here. Questions can be framed from these 3 points also. Okay, eligibility की अगर हम बात करें कि कौन eligible है, The applicant should have a property in rural inhabited area, जिसको हम आबादी भी कहते हैं in हिंदी, एंड इन PIB लैंग्वेज आबादी का जो एरिया है वहां पे वो पर्टिकुलर लैंड होना चाहिए उस पर्टिकुलर पर्सन का, ठीक है। और एक्सक्लूजन की अगर बात करें, व्हाट ऑल टाइप ऑफ लैंड्स आर नॉट इंक्लूडेड in Swamitva scheme, so all agricultural lands are not covered here. Okay, very important points. Agriculture lands are not covered in Swamitva scheme. Implementation, it is being implemented with collaborative effort of Ministry of Panchayati Raj, State Revenue Department, State Panchayati Raj Department and Survey of India. Now, two very important points. First is that if any state want to implement this scheme, they need to sign an MOU with Survey of India. Okay, and till now 31 states and UTs have signed this MOU for implementation of Swamitva scheme. Next, technology used, continuous operating reference system CORS and survey grade drones. These are being used for demarcation, will be done using drone surveying. So basically this how this technology will work in collaboration, this CORS plus survey grade. तो देखो सर्वे कौन करेगा, ड्रोन्स जो है एक पर्टिकुलर एरिया में जाएंगे एंड दे विल डू द मैपिंग, बट व्हाट कॉर्स विल डू, दे विल दिस पर्टिकुलर टेक्नोलॉजी विल प्रोवाइड द एग्जैक्ट कोऑर्डिनेट्स. सो दिस टेक्नोलॉजी विल टेल द ड्रोन दैट इन विच पर्टिकुलर एरिया दैट पर्टिकुलर ड्रोन नीड्स टू डू मैपिंग. ओके, तो एक्यूरेट मैपिंग के लिए दोनों टेक्नोलॉजी कोलैबोरेटिवली काम करती हैं. एंड द प्रॉपर्टी कार्ड्स आर अवेलेबल ऑन डिजिटल लॉकर, डिजी लॉकर पे अवेलेबल होंगे ये सारे प्रॉपर्टी कार्ड्स. एंड नेक्स्ट, ड्रोन सर्वेज की अगर बात करें कि किस स्टेट में हो चुका है, कितना हुआ है, सैचुरेशन कहाँ पे है. सो बेसिकली कंप्लीटेड इन 3.17 लाख विलेजेस अक्रॉस इंडिया, अचीविंग 92% saturation with 3.46 lakh notified villages. Full saturation, very important point, this one, full saturation is achieved in UTs like Lakshadweep, Ladakh, Delhi, Dadar and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu, and states such as Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. And till now 67,000 square kilometer of rural abadi land is surveyed with estimated value of 132 lakh crore. Okay, so 67,000 square kilometer has been surveyed till now. And next, property card, if we talk about the property card distribution, nationwide impact की अगर हम बात करें तो property card prepared for 1.53 lakh villages, resulting in 2.25 property cards, crore property cards, 2.25 crore property cards to rural household. अभी तक कितने हुए हैं? And the completed property card generation, जो जिन states में जो card generation है वो complete हो चुका है, these are हरियाणा, उत्तराखंड, पुडुचेरी, त्रिपुरा, अंडमान एंड निकोबार आइलैंड एंड गोवा. Okay, and if you talk about the economic valuation of this surveyed land, then it is 132 lakh crore. Okay. So question number 4, which of the following statement regarding Swamitva scheme is or are correct? You need to read the statement and answer the question. Question number 4. Okay, I got answer of Nidhi, I think as first. Okay, so most of you are confused between option number A and option number E. So the correct answer is basically option number A, that is 1, 4 and 5, because it is not centrally sponsored, it is central sector scheme, fully funded by the central government. And option number 3, agricultural lands are included, no, they are excluded. Okay, I hope this is clear. Then next news, revamped distribution sector scheme, RDSS. So basically this scheme is basically for, let's see what was there in the news. The meeting of the consultative committee of member of parliament for the Ministry of Power was recently held in New Delhi under the chairmanship of Union Power Minister. Okay, so basically there was a meeting held and to discuss the implementation of revamped distribution sector scheme. So basically how electricity is basically distributed among consumers, it is discussed here. ऑब्जेक्टिव है, देखो कोई भी इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जो है वो पावर प्लांट से लेके कंज्यूमर तक कैसे जाती है, दैट इज ऑल अबाउट द आरडीएसएस स्कीम. ऑब्जेक्टिव हेयर इज टू इम्प्रूव द क्वालिटी एंड रिलायबिलिटी ऑफ सप्लाई टू कंज्यूमर. जो सप्लाई है, जो कंज्यूमर है उनके पास सप्लाई आनी चाहिए 24 आवर्स. ओके, सो देयर शुड बी क्वालिटी ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिसिटी एंड रिलायबिलिटी ऑल्सो, so that they can get financially sustainable and operationally efficient distribution sector. How financially sustainable? So that they don't lose any money here while supplying the electricity, and in operational efficient distribution they should have the good infrastructure to supply the electricity. Now next is to reduce the aggregate technical and commercial losses pan India levels of 12 to 15% and average cost of supply average revenue realized gap to 0 by 24-25. Now what is this A, T and C? देखो, मान लो कोई डिस्कॉम कंपनी है, there is a discom company and the company is basically supplying 100 units of power from power plant to consumer, and in the process they lost 10 units. Okay, and finally consumer is getting 90 units. So basically there is a loss of 10 units, maybe because of the old infrastructure, old wires, old transformers, okay, due to which there was a loss of 10 units. So this is what we call aggregate technical and commercial losses. And if you talk about the average cost of supply, average revenue realized, so basically this means कि कितने उस पे हम cost क्या है electricity produce करने की, and what is the revenue we are getting while we are selling or supplying the electricity. So basically the average cost of supply, average revenue realized gap should be 0 by 24-25. It was launched in year 2021 and nodal ministry is Ministry of Power. Next, duration of the scheme is 5 years from 2021-22 to 25-26. That's why it is very important. And the outlay is 3,03,758 crore with gross budgetary support. Gross budgetary support is there of 97,631. Now the release of funds under the scheme have been linked to results and reforms. So basically जो states यहाँ पे involved रहेंगे उनकी performance पे depend करता है that whether they will get these whether they will get the benefit under the scheme or funds under the scheme or not. Okay, अगर जो states हैं यहाँ पे जो involved हैं they can build their own unique structure also. Okay, states can adopt the customized reform measures and plan infrastructure which is best suited for the area. नेक्स्ट, एलिजिबल एंटिटीज फॉर फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंस. अब कौन सी एंटिटीज हैं जो एलिजिबल हैं फॉर फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंस अंडर द स्कीम? सो ऑल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन यूटिलिटीज, डिस्कॉम्स कंपनी एंड स्टेट और यूटी पावर डिपार्टमेंट्स आर एलिजिबल फॉर फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंस एक्सेप्ट private sector discoms. So private sector discoms are excluded from this from benefit of the scheme, and scheme consists two parts. Now part A, financial support for prepaid smart consumer metering, smart communicable system metering and upgradation of distribution infrastructure. So smart meters are basically those meters that tells about the consumers electricity consumption, how much units they are consuming. Okay, so वहाँ पे जो फाइनेंशियल सपोर्ट दिया जाएगा फॉर प्रीपेड स्मार्ट कंज्यूमर मीटरिंग, एंड पार्ट बी वेयर दे विल गेट द ट्रेनिंग एंड कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग फॉर बेटर मैनेजमेंट. Clear? So if everything is clear, can you answer this particular question? What is the total outlay and duration of the revamped distribution sector RDSS launched by Ministry of Power in 2021 with aim to reduce what? Aggregate technical and commercial losses to pan India level of 12 to 15% and ACS ARR to 0 by 24-25. I hope these two terms are very clear to all of you so that you can retain the data. ठीक है, अगर इन terms का मतलब ही समझ नहीं आ रहा है then there is no use of doing the PIB. Okay, you need to be thorough with every term, right? So what is the answer for question number 5? Very good. It is 303,758 crore and 5 years, right? Next important scheme, very important scheme, internet governance, internship and capacity building scheme. So this is basically talking about the NICSI, National Internet Exchange of India. This NICSI announced the launch of Internet governance, internship and capacity building scheme. Now basically what happened earlier, that are basically Indian citizen, it was very hard to get the access to internet. Now everybody is having access to internet, but we are not aware about the internet governance. Now what is internet governance? It is basically means कि internet जो है कैसे manage किया जाता है, how it is managed and run, and what are the possible risks related to the internet. So aim here is to make citizens aware about how internet governance basically work, so that they can help in policy making and decision making of the country related to internet services. Okay, so why? To build awareness and develop expertise to in internet governance among Indian citizens. तो Indian citizens को इतना कैपेबल बना देना कि उनको इंटरनेट के बारे में ये पता हो कि इंटरनेट कैसे मैनेज किया जाता है, रन किया जाता है, so that they can help in policy making in internet. Okay, so it is basically, what is NICSI? It is basically not for profit organization under Section 8 of Companies Act, under the aegis of the Ministry of Electronics and IT. So it is basically under the MIT. It was basically established in 2003 and mandate was to increase the internet penetration and adoption in India. So when NICSI was launched, the aim was just to penetrate the internet in Indian population and adoption, right? Now it is basically providing 4 services under NICSI. First is internet exchange points for building internet exchange points. तो basically यहाँ पे जो IXP है ना, ये as a junction है, work करते हैं. So मान लो कि just imagine, just a hypothetical situation, we have 2 internet like Airtel and Jio. So these 2 will work as highways and there is a common point where they are meeting, that is IXP. So IXP is working as a junction where these 2 can freely share their data so that consumer get faster speed. Okay, तो time ना लगे data share होने में, IXP is acting as a junction to provide these 2 network services to exchange their data. Now next is .in registry for building the .in domain digital identity. तो देखो जो भी companies होती हैं जो इंडिया में registered होती हैं, उनके पीछे क्या लगता है .in. For example, we have this our company Anuj Jindal.in, तो यहाँ पे भी .in है. What this in indicates? It is basically that it is registered in India. Now IRN for IPv4. This is basically that how our devices are connected over internet. Okay, internet पे जो devices connected है उनको एक unique IP address दिया जाता है. Okay, so for IPv4. Okay, now next is IPv6 addresses adoption. It is more faster. It is basically faster and secure IP address. Okay, so these 4 services basically provided by NICSI. And next is about the scheme. To equip the participants with knowledge to effectively engage in global internet governance processes with I-star organizations like ICANN, ISOC and IEE and Internet Engineering Task Force. तो इनके साथ basically engage करने के लिए, effectively engage करने के लिए जो participants को है equip किया जाएगा. Now it will nurture a pool of domestic talent who can deeply engage with emerging internet governance issues and contribute to their resolution. So basically these participants will get nurtured here. They will get the appropriate tools with the help of which they can participate in the decision making or policy making of the internet. Next, what is this internship this intern will get? तो ये जो internship यहाँ पे होगी बाय एनुअल इंटर्नशिप होगी जो 2 पैरेलल ट्रैक्स पे चलेगी. फर्स्ट इज ऑफ 6 month एंड सेकेंड ऑफ 3 month प्रोग्राम. मेंटरशिप यहाँ पे प्रोवाइड की जाएगी टू ईच इंटर्न बाय सब्जेक्ट मैटर एक्सपर्ट फ्रॉम दीज इंटरनेशनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस वी हैव जस्ट डिस्कस्ड, एंड देयर वुड बी अ फिक्स्ड स्टाइपेंड ऑफ 20,000 per month. So these intern will get a stipend of 20,000 per month along with support to conduct mandatory outreach programs. Clear? So if everything is clear, answer this question. Question number 6. A National Internet Exchange of India, NICSI, recently has announced the launch of its Internet Governance Internship and Capacity Building Scheme within dash to build awareness and develop expertise in Internet governance among Indian citizens with an aim to build. Okay. So how much fixed monthly stipend will be provided to each intern along with support to conduct mandatory outreach program? Question number 6. Okay, very good, everyone. Afsana and Pragya, Soumya gave the first answer, that is 20,000 stipend that was given to the intern under this program. Now, ninth, Swachh Survekshan. Again, important from examination point of view. So, the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs has launched the 9th edition of Swachh Survekshan. It is basically cleanliness survey, the world's largest urban cleanliness survey. Okay. So it introduced a streamlined and inclusive approach incorporating innovations such as the Super Swachh League and targeted assessment parameters to elevate urban sanitation standards. So what has been what was there? Basically, a new league has been recognized with cities that excel in cleanliness. तो कुछ ऐसे cities हैं जो बार-बार excel कर रही हैं, like इंदौर and सूरत. So यहाँ पे जो eligibility होगी for this Swachh Survekshan, cities that rank in the top 3 at least twice in the past 3 years, that is from 2021 to 2023. इन इस टाइम पीरियड के बीच में जो भी सिटीज हैं जिन्होंने कम से कम टॉप थ्री में आए हैं एटलीस्ट ट्वाइस, those cities are eligible for this league, new league, and in this Super Swachh League, 12 cities are basically there. In very small cities, that is from population less than 20,000, Panchgani, Patan. Okay. स्मॉल सिटीज की अगर बात करें 20,000 to 50,000, बीटा, सासवत. मीडियम सिटीज 50,000 to 3 लाख, अंबिकापुर, तिरुपति, एनडीएमसी. बिग सिटीज फ्रॉम 3 लाख to 10 लाख, नोएडा, चंडीगढ़. मिलियन प्लस सिटीज मोर देन 10 lakh, नवी मुंबई, इंदौर एंड सूरत. नाउ बेसिकली व्हाट हैपेंड, इफ यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द एस्पिरेशनल इंडिकेटर्स हियर, जो भी आपकी अर्बन लोकल बॉडीज हैं इस लीग में जो भी हैं, दे शुड हैव मेंटेन द 85% स्कोर और हायर टू रिटेन देयर पोजीशन. इतना तो उन्हें मिनिमम स्कोर लाना पड़ेगा इफ दे वांट टू रिटेन देयर पोजीशन. एंड देयर इज इंक्लूसिविटी थ्रू population based categorization. So basically, as we have seen here, this categorization is based on the population. Now what is the categorization criteria? For very small cities it is less than 20,000, small cities 20 to 50,000, medium cities 50,000 to 3 lakh, big cities 3 lakh to 10 lakh, million plus cities more than 10 lakh. Okay, so this classification allows that even small cities can participate and they can showcase their achievements, okay, alongside the established leaders like Indore and Surat. So this gives a chance to small cities also. Next, behavioral and structural targets, introduction of cleanliness target units, CTUs. Now CTUs are basically those spots which are very challenging as a cleanliness. Okay, so ये जो CTUs हैं इनको as a challenge create किया गया है कि ये जो हैं इतने clean नहीं हैं and इनको transform करना है. Okay, so these are CTUs. And next is स्वभाव स्वच्छता, संस्कार स्वच्छता, basically to develop the values of cleanliness inherently in Indian citizens, okay, and to change their behavior, to drive behavioral change in their daily lives. That was the purpose, and the focus here is on visible cleanliness, that cleanliness should be visible, okay, and waste management, particularly the tourist spots पे यहाँ पे ज़्यादा focus किया गया. Tourist spots should be visibly clear with high footfall. School assessment, schools are now part of the evaluation to integrate Swachhta values among the students and promote sustainability. So now these Swachhta values are also inculcating in the students and to promote sustainability. Next, let's talk about the organized framework. So the assessment parameters have been grouped in 10 simplified buckets. Now what are these 10 buckets? The framework on basis of which they are basically scoring more or less, okay, cities. So first is visible cleanliness, second segregation, collection and transportation of waste, जो भी waste उसको कैसे manage किया जा रहा है, solid waste management कैसे किया जा रहा है, access to sanitation है, जो भी clean toilets हैं उनका access किसके पास है, ठीक है, तो जो भी open defecation है इसको rule out करना है. used water management, जो भी water है, जो used water है उसको manage कैसे किया जा रहा है. mechanization of desludging services, so basically जो sewers हैं, sewers management, how sewer management has been done. Advocacy of sport स्वच्छता, strengthening ecosystem and institutional parameters को और strengthen करना है हमें. Overall welfare of sanitation workers, सैनिटेशन वर्कर्स का जो वेलफेयर है वो भी ध्यान में रखना है, स्पेशली दोज हु आर क्लीनिंग द सीवर्स. ओके. 10. Citizen feedback and grievance redressal is also there. So feedback of the citizens is also valuable here. So there is grievance redressal cell also, right? So this was, and last one more point, timeline and final phase. So final assessment for Swachh Survekshan 2024 will commence on 15 February 2025 and कब conclude होगा ये March 2025 को. फिर हमें बहुत सारे रिजल्ट्स देखने को मिलेंगे, right? So based on this news, here's the question. Read the question and answer the question. Question number 7. आज की जो क्लास थी, I know it was very useful. It was lengthy but yet very useful. ठीक है. So जो भी अभी तक क्लास में हैं, आप सबको टॉपिक्स की इम्पोर्टेंस तो पता लग गई होगी. And these topics are really very important for your examination point of view. Okay. सो कवरेज बहुत अच्छे से किया गया है न्यूज का. दैट्स व्हाई इट इज टाइम टेकिंग समटाइम्स. ओके. क्वेश्चन नंबर 7E. आई गॉट द आंसर फर्स्ट फ्रॉम योगेंद्र, सौम्या, श्रेया, अभिषेक. वेरी गुड एवरीवन. यस, द आंसर इज E. ऑल ऑफ द अबव स्टेटमेंट्स आर ट्रू. ओके. नेक्स्ट, अदर इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस क्विकली हम इन्हें कर लेते हैं. अब अदर इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस की अगर बात करें तो, वेयर 85th All India Presiding Officers Conference is being organized under the theme 75th Anniversary of Constitution, Contribution of Parliament and State Legislative Bodies in Strengthening Constitutional Values. Question number 8. Yes, quickly answer everyone. Just 5 more questions and then we'll wind up the session. It is option number A, that is Patna. It is being organized in Bihar for the 3rd time. ठीक है. ये 3rd टाइम है जब ये बिहार में ऑर्गेनाइज हो रहा है. कौन ऑर्गेनाइज, बेसिकली कौन इसको कौन इनॉग्रेट करेगा? ओम बिरला. ओके, मिस्टर ओम बिरला, द स्पीकर विल इनॉग्रेट दिस. And question number 9, how many red ribbon clubs have been established across the country to promote community outreach on HIV/AIDS prevention and provide support for young people seeking information, clarification about HIV, STIs and drug abuse? Yes, very good Abhishek. Okay Jay, that's good. Question number 9, it is D. I got answer from Swastik. Very good Swastik, it is 13,000. Next question, question number 10, which of the following progress has been made in the past 10 years in khadi and village industries? जो प्रोडक्शन है खादी एंड विलेज इंडस्ट्रीज का वो इंक्रीज हो चुका है. सेल्स है वो भी इंक्रीज हो रही है. अर्निंग्स जो है वो भी इंक्रीज हो रही है. सो बेसिकली आंसर इज ऑल. अजय, इट इज 13,000, राइट? आंसर इज ऑप्शन नंबर E, ABC. ओके. एंड नेक्स्ट, 11th question. Which country for the first time will be hosting the International Institute of Administrative Sciences with the theme Next Generation Administrative Reforms Reaching the Last Mile? कौन इसको बेसिकली होस्ट कर रहा है फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम? वेरी गुड, इट इज इंडिया. ओके, इंडिया इज होस्टिंग. सो दिस कॉन्फ्रेंस विल सर्व एज अ ग्लोबल प्लेटफॉर्म where international scholars will come. Okay, international scholars will come and discuss the reforms. Okay, administrative reforms. Next, question number 12. EEPC India, established in 1955, is the premier trade and investment promotion organization for the Indian engineering sector, sponsored by which ministry? Question number 12. So it is basically Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and this EEPC is basically responsible for engineering exports. And if we compare from 1955, our engineering exports has been increased to $, approximately 109 billion. Okay, in 2023-24. which is huge. Okay, it means our engineering services export is doing very good. Okay, so that's all for the class, for the today's session, and I hope you like this session. And ये जो भी PIB में आपको कराया जा रहा है, it is very important, and I hope all of you are revising, okay? Because there would be more data if you talk about the January, February and March, और data आएगा और reports आएंगी, तो अभी ही आप साथ साथ revise करते चलो, चाहे बाद में एक बार आप live देख लो, then you can watch this video again at 2x. It will help you retain more data, okay? And you can get the PDF from Telegram and you can revise from there also, right? So I hope you like this session, and thank you very much for attending this session. See you in the next session, and goodbye. Take care.